Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create this Torus Eye mandala in Affinity Designer. Not long ago I recorded a tutorial on how to create the Torus Yantra sacred geometry figure in Affinity Designer. So today we are going to create this Torus Eye mandala, which is based on the same pattern as the Torus Yantra, but it is a bit more complex and elaborate. So first we go to File New and we create a new document. We give it 2000 by 2000 pixels. And we click on Create. And then we are going to add some center guides to the document. So we go to View Guides. And then we click on Close. And before we start drawing the figure, we make sure that snapping is enabled. So enable snapping as well as snap to guide. And then we can start drawing the figure. So we take the ellipse tool, we set the fill to none, we leave the stroke as black, and here for the stroke width we set it to 0.1 pixels. So we need the thinnest possible stroke, so the point of it is only to be able to see the circles. And then we go ahead and we draw a circle, and we set its size in the transform panel to 800 by 800 pixels. And then we take the Move tool, we position the circle so that it's centered on the vertical axis and that it sits on the horizontal axis, like this. And then before we start duplicating it, we go here to enable Transform Origin, and we set its rotation center right in the middle of the composition. So here, in order to create a figure, we are going to need 32 overlapping circles. So we are going to create them based on the circle that we just drawn. So we are going to create the other circles with the Move Duplicate panel. So the way to make it appear is to click on Enter while having the circle selected. So we are going to need 32 circles overall. So that means that each circle needs to be spaced by 11.25 degrees. So here at horizontal and vertical we'll leave it 0 pixels, distance also 0 pixels, angle 0 degrees. Here at rotation we set it to 11.25, so the program reset it as 11.3 and that's okay. Here we check duplicate on, and here numbers of copy we set it at 31, because we need 32 overall, so 31 plus the one original equals 32. Here insertion mode in front, and then we can click on OK. So now we have all the overlapping circles that we need in order to create the figure. So the next step is that we are going to create these concentric circles. So we are going to do it with the ellipse tool again. So we take the ellipse tool, we put the cursor in the middle of the composition, we press on Ctrl and Shift to preserve the proportion and to expand it from the middle of the composition. And then we expand the circle until it is at the second intersection of overlapping circles. So here we take the Move tool, and then we adjust it so it needs to be exactly at the intersection. So right here. And then we are going to use this circle to create the other concentric circles. So we take the Move tool, we press on Ctrl J to duplicate the circle. And then while holding Ctrl and Shift, we expand it until it is at the next intersection of the overlapping circles. So zoom in to make sure it is at the right place. And then we press Ctrl J to duplicate it again. And then while holding Ctrl and Shift, we bring it to the intersection. And then we continue the process. So don't forget to hold Ctrl and Shift. So in some cases it's not going to match exactly the intersection, so we need to put it as close to it as possible. So here towards the end of the figure, make sure not to forget any of the intersections. And then the very last circle, it lies here at the end of the figure. So it must match the overlapping circles. So now, as you can see, we have all the circles that we need in order to create the figure. So we are going to select the very first of the concentric circles. And here we position it to the very front of the figure. And now we are going to change its fill to black. And now we also need to color in black all the triangular shapes that are pointing towards the middle of the figure. So in order to do this, we press on Ctrl A to select all the elements of the figure. And then we take the vector float fill tool, we set the color to black. And then we color off the triangular shapes that are pointed towards the middle of the figure. So make sure not to color any of the shapes that are pointed outwards. So make sure that all of the triangles are colored in black. So the next step is that we are going to add the gradients to the other triangles, the one that are pointing outwards. So in order to do this, we take the move tool and we select the very last of the concentric circles. The very last of the concentric circles, the one that goes around the figure. And then once we have it, we go here, move to the back of the figure, and then we take the gradient tool. We leave the context as fill, we set the type as radial, and then we are going to adjust the colors. So the color in the middle, we set it to light blue. And the one on the outside, we set it to light green. And we can also adjust the midpoint if we want. Alright, so now we've completed the figure. You learned how to create a Torus Eye mandala in Affinity Designer. I know this wasn't an easy tutorial, but I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time, bye!